The importance of law and order in terms of society's orderly development and expansion, both physically and economically, cannot be overemphasized. This is because only a secured and peaceful society can rationally address concerns like political and economic progress and societal development. As a result, it is necessary for a society like Nigeria in general and Yobe in particular to make efforts to maintain peace in order so as to ensure growth and progress. Peace is one of the drivers of societal development. Good evening and welcome to this program, Guest of the Week. Today, we are lucky to have the image maker of the police force. He is no other person than the Deputy Superintendent of Police, Abdul Karim Dungus. Sir, welcome to the program, Guest of the Week.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. To start with, let's start with who is Dungus Abdul Karim and how he rose to the rank of DSP.
All right, Dungus Abdul Karim, a Deputy Superintendent of Police currently. I've joined the Nigerian Police Force in 2016, so I know many people were surprised with the way and type of my activities and the way I'm engaging with the communities and the little knowledge I have in the police. My first posting is Yobe, and I've been in Yobe for about 7 years now. I have been a DCO, Divisional Crime Officer at the C Divisional Police Headquarters. I have become the OC, or rather twice legal, at the legal department at the state CID. From there, I become the officer in charge of INEC. I was the one who coordinated most of the security arrangement in the INEC office in the national election 2019. And from there, I was later been posted as the PPRO, Police Public Relations Officer for Yobe Command around that 2019. And up to date, I'm serving as the Police Public Relations Officer of the state.
So who is a police?
A police is a law enforcement agent. Any person who is saddled with the responsibility to ensure enforcement of all laws regarding any part of the country, be it a bylaw, be it a local government law, law, be it a state law or federal law. Wherever you find yourself, you are with that responsibility. You have that mandate to ensure the enforcement of those laws.
We all know that the fundamental duty of the police is to protect lives and properties of the citizens. What are the other functions of the police?
All right, this took me to the Police Act itself. You know, in every agency, every department of the country must have a backing law. The first backing law is the Establishment Law, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which have given birth to the Nigerian Police Force. Beside that, now the Nigerian Police Force cannot be just led to work by itself. There must be certain rules or regulations to govern the entire administration of the Nigerian Police Force. And there come the Police Act. The Police Act happened to be an act of the National Assembly, which gave the Nigerian Police Force its mandate, its functions, responsibilities, do's and don'ts, and many other covered laws. Under the Act, Section 4 of the Police Act have categorically, or rather give, the primary functions of the Nigerian Police Force. 2020 has amended, that's the Act. Under the Section 4, the first provision is to prevent crime, detect crime, protect life and property, enforce laws, perform such police duty either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, as may be required by the National Assembly. If you are following the police programs outside Nigeria, you will see that we have postings in so many parts of the world where there are crises. Our policemen were deployed to certain countries which are in trouble. For instance, Sudan now, we have a large number of deployment from the Nigerian police force to go there for a peace keeping mission, and other countries who are having conflict. And also, the Section 4 went further to say that the police must have synergy with other security agencies in the enforcement of law and order. However, we also monitor and register private investigators institutions or private investigator as a single entity. Although here in Nigeria or in some part of the world here like Yobe, up to now we do not have any private investigators or private corporate body comprising of private investigators. But it is the responsibility of the Nigerian police force to register those private entities to carry out certain police duty. However, under the functions, there are a lot of other function beneath it, which is the prosecutions of offenders in the police, ensure free passage of traffic on the road, mounting road checkpoints, and ensuring that life and properties are safe on the major road in the country, and many other functions.
Yeah, thank you very much. How is the general public engage the police under the Police Act for police to function effectively?
All right. This also goes back to the provision of the Police Act under Section 61 to 63, which give the Nigerian, or rather establish the community policing system as a way of engaging and collaborating with the communities and the societies to ensure security and safety of their communities. And also, it goes by to also establish a forum which will comprise of all important or relevant stakeholders, starting from the traditional leaders, CSOs, that's civil society organizations, and other important bodies such as the local government authorities, the local chiefs, which are the local heads and local chief within a particular community. For instance, at the state headquarters here, the forum is already been established for around 2020 to 2021, which comprises of the head of the emir, the chairman of the Emirate Council, which is the emir of Fika, and other important stakeholders ranging from civil society organization, NURTW, Miyati Allah, all other relevant bodies were part of the forum established at the center. And this also being cascaded down to include all the divisional police headquarters. In every division, the local chief in that division will be the chairman, then followed by other relevant bodies, as I mentioned earlier, which are also working in a particular area. For instance, in Tarmua local government, you see Tarmua local government has one divisional police headquarters. And under that police, in Tarmua, we have the traditional head, we have faith-based heads, we have the NURTW, we have CSOs, we have so many important bodies who are working in that community. They are part of that community policing forum. So in all the 21 division and 5 area command we have in Yobe have an established community policing forum working alongside with the division. In case of any criminal activity, in case of any outcry by the community due to insecurity or what have you, then the area commander or the divisional police headquarter or the commissioner of police will summon that forum to come and sit down and deliberate on the way forward to tackle certain issues that have arisen.
Okay, the police is your friend. It's the slogan you see when you walk into the Nigerian police station.
Yes.
Explain further, as it is the police motto.
Yeah, this is, I can say, is something that is already known. No society will live without a police. So whether you like to be a friend to the police or not, police must be your friend for your own safety. Because when you are in distress, you call the police. When somebody steals anything from your house, you call the police. When somebody tries to threaten you, you call the police. And the police is there always to respond to your distress. So that's why we have become friends to the members of the communities.
It is categorically stated that in the Police Act, bail is free. But why is it that people find it difficult to ensure that it's transparent as stated in the Act?
Well, you see, I'm sorry to cut you short in this regard. It is on the contrary. There is no any bail which is free. No bail is free. No any law stated that. And even
the Police Act.
The Police Act didn't say that. You cannot quote any section from the police. You cannot do that. Because there is no any bail which is free. Let me explain. You see, the Police Act is here with me. That's why I come with it, in case of any reference. So, when you're talking about bail, the police has power to grant bail to offenses which are not capital in nature at the instance of the police. And that bail must be certified that it is going to help the police in fostering their investigation. It's going to help them in making sure their case file are well arranged without any hitch or problem. Now, you have a suspect who have been arrested for one crime or the other, which is not capital in nature. Now the Act is saying, now you can give that person bail under recognizance. And if you go to our police station, there's what we call the bail bond. In the bail bond, there are conditions. Why are we granting bail on condition? In order to ensure that the suspect we are granting bail is returning back. One, we need his surety. In case the suspect doesn't have a surety, now the law is saying he must sign a recognizance with a reasonable amount. But that amount doesn't belong to the police station, but it stays as the surety to the suspect. When he returns on the design date, then his money will be returned back to him.
But have you been practicing it in Yobe?
Good. Now the question here is, has the community ready to face justice? This is what we are facing. The community are corrupting the system. Though they are corrupting those unscrupulous personnel within the system, which we are now working assiduously to ensure that all those personnel are well checkmated and being trained appropriately. You see, today if you have a suspect in your custody pending investigation before forwarding the matter to court, the people will start begging, please, we don't want to go court, we don't want to go court. Maybe in a criminal matter, we don't care if you don't want to go court. But before I talk much on that, let me now describe certain offenses that we have. Under offenses which are misdemeanor or minor offenses, which are not capital in nature, that require Ministry of Justice intervention or vetting, what have you, then we have what we call compoundable cases and non-compoundable cases. These are two types of cases. Compoundable cases, those are cases that totally affect the person alone without having effect to the state or the community. What are these type of offenses? Like defamation of character. Somebody will come to the station and say somebody has defamed his character by going on social media, posting false accusation and what have you. Now, the law is saying those are compoundable offenses. When the complainant decides that I don't like the case, then you can terminate the case at that instance. But when that case affects the community, maybe stealing, burglary, and what have you, now, even if that person says he don't want the case, he have no option. The police must take that matter to court because it affects the community. Because allowing that person to go because the complainant say he doesn't want case, it contribute to increase of crime in the society. So for that matter, now the law said that those cases are not compoundable. But that suspect is entitled to bail. And if we are going to grant him bail, he must produce a surety, somebody to stand for him as a grantor. That on so date, we want you to come back to the police station so that we are going to charge you or arraign you before the court. So in that regard, if that person has no any person to appear as surety, now he has to fill a bail bond. And in the bail bond, you can see categorically the conditions. There are a reasonable amount written. And there are certain conditions also written in them, which you as a suspect will now sign the bail bond, agreeing to the terms in that bail bond. But some of the unscrupulous police personnel or these corrupt members of the public will now take some of our policemen behind and start negotiating a shady deal. And in that is nothing but to distort the progress of the case so as not to go to court. So in many occasions, you find them giving money. And if you call that person and said, who do you give money to? Have you signed any bail bond? He will tell you, I didn't sign any bail bond, but the police have collected money. You give the police money. Why are you giving the police money? Because you don't want to go to court. But in a real sense, the arrangement is already there. We have a bail bond. We want to give you bail. Okay, here is the bail bond. They'll give you, you read the bail bond. After going through the bail bond, if you are satisfied with the condition and you can provide the condition, it's okay. You can sign the bail bond, provide the condition, and they will let you go until when you come back the following date. So there are a lot of problems which the community will also help us in this regard. Do not give our personnel money in the name of bail, except if a bail bond has been granted to you. If you requested for bail, and now the police said, okay, we are going to grant you bail, then you have to request for the bail bond. In the bail bond, there are conditions that you are going to fulfill. As you fulfill those conditions, then you will be granted that bail. The police has no right to stop you from that bail, because bail is the right of the suspect, but it's not free. It's not free. There must be recognizance, there are conditions, and those conditions sometimes also involve monetary issues. But those money doesn't belong to any of the police personnel in that division. It's just like a grantor, just like the surety. In the surety presence, there is no need for giving money. There's nothing like other criteria which involve financial consequences. But when you have your surety, you fill the bail bond, and you'll be set free. Because that surety has already covered many of the conditions. Even at that, you have to fill that bail bond. You sign the bail bond, either by your surety or by you yourself.
So after signing the bail bond, and they adhered strictly to the conditions given to them, it is still, bail is then, at the end of it, bail is free. Because if you are going to be returned your money, it's free. So you agree bail is free?
That's it.
Well, viewers, if you are just tuning in, we've been discussing on the Police Act 2020, in ensuring transparency, efficiency in the Nigerian police force. And our guest is the Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Abdulkarim Dungus. The Act specifically prohibits the police from arresting a person merely on civil wrong or breach of contract, arrest in lieu, torture and inhumane treatment. What is delaying the full compliance of the law in the state?
You see, I didn't see any case that involved contract or sales agreement being taken to police station without having proper investigation and due process. The problem here is, in many occasions, there are a lot of cases that came. They are civil in nature, but if you look at the background, some of them are criminal in nature. And that is why in so many occasions you find people having issues with the police. One, there is no any categorical statement in the Police Act that the police should investigate a case of contract or a case of sales or a case of borrowing. You see, all these are civil cases. But the problem here is people that will enter into contract, and when there is a breach of that contract, then threat to life will come into play. In many occasions, people report those cases to police not because the case is a matter, maybe the primary case is a criminal case. It will be a civil matter. But what comes after the civil matter, a crime is covered in it. When one or either of the party refuses to fulfill his terms of the contract terms, then in the process of maybe the other party is trying to force that man to give him or to fulfill back his part for performance, then there will come a situation where they start having argument, they start insulting each other, and from there, threat will come in. Some will now say, okay, I will not give you, do whatever you want to do. Then I will kill you if I meet you. You know, all those are criminal intention that need proper investigation. At times, if those cases come to the police station, what we used to do is that we will start listening to the both parties. First, we would rule out that contract that they have entered between them, that this is civil. Now, what we are going to deal with is that criminal intention that has been built up later on. Now, the criminal intention built up later on, it requires intervention. If not, it will escalate, because we have seen so many issues where contract agreement turned to violence, killings, and even maiming some of the victims in those instances. But in many occasions, when we have a case which is a civil matter, the only thing what we used to do is to mediate. See, this case require court. You need to go to court because this case is beyond our own jurisdiction. We only deal with criminal aspect. We cannot deal with the civil aspect. The civil aspect, we send people to court. But you know, due to ignorance sometimes of the justice system in the state, you find people in any case, at times even borrowing. Someone will collect, maybe will borrow 50,000 from his brother, and the brother maybe refuse to pay him. He will never think of going to court to challenge his brother to refund back his money. What he sees is who is enforcing the law. He will now rush to police or civil defense, at times even military. They're going to tell them, I borrowed so person money, please help me and collect back my money. Because these people have confidence in the security system, but they are ignorant that those cases require court. But the processes of the court sometimes also send people back to the police. They will come to the police. They'll say, please, if we go to court, this matter will take time before maybe my money will come back. Can you help me talk to this man? And a time when we have a case like that and we start bringing tension like that, we call the DPOs, we call them to order. We say, this is a civil matter. Advise those people to go to court. And if you advise these people to go to court, at the end, what you hear is fighting, either killing or maiming. That very contractual agreement or civil matter will now turn to criminal matter. So we have a very big issue. Yes, the Police Act is very sacrosanct about it. The police has no right to investigate civil matters, more especially contracts, even land matters. But you see what is happening today in the country. In every day we record more than 5 to 6 cases of either killing or chopping of hand or grievous injury, many form of assault on people because of that land. Maybe farming. Now when you say farming, you say, no, this is a civil matter between two parties, or maybe you say land. People are fighting because of the land. When you come into as a policeman, you are not coming there to settle a civil matter. You are there to prevent crime to occur. Then you make sure those people are well coordinated, you inform them and send them to court.
Lastly, can we say the amended Police Act is all what we need in Nigeria to have a very effective, efficient, accountable, transparent, and responsible police in the state?
Yes. Yes, in the essence that, number one, the Police Act has come with some reformative provision in it. Number one, respect for human rights. Number two, respect or compliance to rule of law. Number three, reforming the entire police system. Number four, professionalism among personnel. Number six, ensuring that we have a better, effective, and accountable police force in Nigeria. You see, those are invention into the Police Act, which also elaborated our work and also make the police to understand certain things which were not captured in the previous Police Act. In fact, it is very good and it's a welcome act to Nigeria.
Well, PPRO, time is not on our side. Well, viewers, you've heard it all from the PPRO, and I hope you are better informed of the Police Act 2020, so you should study it and know the rights. He said there is the right for human rights, so it's very important you know your rights and your limits. Go to ensure you can Google, go to WhatsApp, to Facebook, and then find out the Police Act 2020. What is your own role to play? The police have their own role to play, and even the citizens have their own role to play. Don't be a victim. Try to contribute your own quota to ensure that Yobe is better, peaceful, free of crime. Until then, thanks and bye for now.